Good evening, Patriots, and welcome to the Q Lounge Live. Hi, I'm your host, Shady Groove, joined by my co-host at intheMAtrixxx. This is the intheMAtrixxx YouTube channel. It is just after 7 p.m. on the West Coast. How is everybody doing tonight? If your head is not spinning after this week, well then it is not paying attention. Your president is running at a breakneck speed, and I mean a breakneck speed, and he's running it for you, and I hope everybody out there is supporting him. We're getting it coming from all angles right now. You guys are seeing it. Look at Q. Look at what he just released. All of those accounts targeted, everything being shown to you before it happens. Mueller, look at the stuff going on with Bob Kraft today. Everything happening left and right. You guys are winning, and I can't say enough how you guys are winning. If you're new to Q, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming around tonight. Appreciate your presence here, and I want you to know that we have some of the best people in the world out there in the chat, and they are here to help you, and we are here to move this movement forward. I have a lot of things to go over tonight. We have Stormy Patriot Joe, who is here tonight, going to share some stuff with us. And if you guys haven't seen him on Twitter, then I recommend you get over there and check him out. But we're going to go through a lot of stuff here tonight, guys. Matrix, are you with me?
Hey, Shady. How are you today? Amazing day. My head is spinning. We had a pretty incredible week. Even just Q-wise, Shady. I mean, Q has been on fire, absolutely insane. You were Q'd, and I together as well, and then I was actually POTUSed as well with the Red Castle in my name again. And where have we seen this before? Coincidence? And then today, so just
Pretty
amazing. I want to go over today when you're ready, brother. But just amazing day. Hi, Patriots. Hi, YouTube, Periscope. How are you all doing?
This is looks like really heating up here, man. We are I over the target is a little bit of an understatement, but man, what a week we have had. This week we've done the Matrix Groove Hour 3 times. We were on Tori Says. If you guys have not seen or heard of Tori Says on Red State Radio, please go check her out. She had us on Wednesday. It was a great interview. She made us feel completely at home. And also we got an opportunity to visit with Jimmy Church on Fade to Black this week to go up on his show right after David Icke. That was pretty interesting too. That was a fun night, wasn't it, man?
Oh my gosh. You know,
that was a long day.
First of all, yeah, Tori Says is absolutely amazing. Love her. She was really a pleasure to speak to. She's Red State Radio /Tori Says, /Tori, Tore, that's it. And, then Jimmy was amazing because we were actually his first Q people. And it was kind of interesting that they had David Icke on for a half an hour before us. On the YouTube, we have more views than David Icke. So, yeah, thank you. But David Icke released this debunking QAnon right after he left that show while we were talking Q. But I think we had some people's head spinning. Shady, you did an amazing job. Jimmy was actually very intrigued. The body language looked good. I think we represented well our Anons, our Q people, our community, POTUS, MAGA. I think we served us well, trying to step up and break out of this matrix, if you will. Also, we were on Sirius XM. We were probably in all 50 states on Wednesday, Shady.
I think we may have gotten most of them, my friend,
yeah.
and people from all over the country and all over the world have been sending us messages. If you guys haven't gotten over to the intheMAtrixxx with 3x's.com and signed up for the QArmy social network, please do that. With the post you're seeing from Q, it is obvious that things are going to start to go awry with your social media. Different social media accounts are definitely going to be targeted. You guys are being called Russian bots and all this other stuff, and so
I am too.
I know you were named.
I'm on the list.
I didn't get on that. I didn't get on that list.
I'm sorry. I'm just so my mind is just going crazy. I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, well, it's going crazy for all of us. Everybody out there that's paying attention. It's an amazing thing to see so many people that are plugged into this and that are wanting to be a part of what everybody's doing here and wanting to see what is happening with their own eyes and thinking for themselves and not trusting the other people who are interpreting the news for us. You know, we're fine with being able to decide what it is that we want to consume on our own, and we do not need people that are wearing pretty suits sitting in front of cameras telling us what it is that we should be thinking or should not be thinking. So that is exactly what everybody's been doing, and the response we've gotten from the website and QSN is amazing. You guys are amazing. Really enjoying all the intimate chat that we're able to get into with all the anons over there, and people able to ask questions and communicate without the quote unquote deep state directly reading every single thing that you do. So that has been a really fun time and actually a pretty great launch in all reality, considering the scope and the breadth of that project. So a big shout out from all anons out there to Webmaster Q. So he's the brains behind getting this site up and running for you. And let me tell you something, this is a grade A class act. This gentleman has both oars in the water and has Q Q is his focus, and he reached out to us and made an amazing representation of what we wanted to be doing with this site. So much love and kudos to you, sir, out there for all of the anons, because this has been quite the ride here. So first off, tonight, go ahead, bud.
Yeah, I was gonna just echo that, Webmaster Q, and I don't know. Do you have my screen up by any chance? Because we got the chat up there going, "Hello, YouTube."
Yeah, the chat's working up there. It's a little different this time. We're trying to get the Periscope and the YouTube together here. I'm going to
looks good.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it down here to my screen first for you guys, and then we're going to move over to Matrix here in a few minutes. Let's see.
Yeah, so we got the guys in the public chat on intheMAtrixx with 3x's.com. Get ready to say hello. You guys are going to be live on the air. And just really, wow, thank you guys. Way to go over the target matrix. Happy to support you guys. Celia Burns, thank you, Celia. Then we've got Joanne Dillon, forgive me, Matrix. Oh my God. You're absolutely forgiven, Joanne. I'm welcoming everybody back. I was the target of a deep state, and I knew it, and I was hoping that Q would help me out, and he did.
Yes, they did. He's got all of our backs. And that's what that's what the Q Lounge is about, is to give strength to all the patriots out there who feel like you're trying to get something going on Twitter, nobody's paying attention to you. We see that it's tough to garner an audience over there, and they are suppressing you. So don't be discouraged. Come on over to our little spot, and there is lots of people there, and most everyone on that network is red pilled. So what a blessing that is over there. So I'm going to move into first on tonight. I'm going to talk about this clip from the NCIS and the sold out anon who tagged Matrix and I the other day with this little clip, and I'm going to play this for you guys and let you just hear what they're saying in this. Very interesting.
Which is the worst sin? QAnon's like a right-wing marketing.
Now it is. All I'm saying is that doesn't necessarily mean that he wasn't real.
Oh man, Pizzagate. All right,
Pizzagate.
Seriously? You guys up all night talking nerd?
Well, I mean, he thinks that Q's posts were legit, and I'm saying they're propaganda, but he wants to.
First of all, shut it up. Secondly, one of you mentions Area 51 or a grassy knoll before I finish my coffee, you're gonna get punched.
She always does much of a grump in the morning.
Want to see a grump?
Hey, hold on, listen. While you were sleeping, Crane and I may have figured out how the suspect's been picking his victims.
So there's a little clip for you guys that Sold Out Anon retweeted the other night, put up interesting 45-second clip, which was number one, but that was retweeted. I retweeted that late at night, and the next morning I woke up to have Q repost this post. And man, did I get some Twitter love out there from everyone supportive of Matrix and I, coming over to say, oh, congratulations. And also to all the Anons out there to know that you're important enough for them to debunk you on NCIS. That is a badge of honor for all of us to see that we are being included in this conversation, because they are scared of you. And we're going to go through a bunch of the posts and stuff and show you guys a little bit more of exactly why they are so scared. But this next clip is going to be, it shows that one too, but I want you, this is from at M2 Madness, and if you guys go check him out over on Twitter, but he put a 1.5-minute clip together of all of the different ones that were on here, and there's a couple of things I want you to pay attention to, so I'm going to stop it in the middle of after they talk here for a second.
It's been a while, but some of this is coming back now.
What does it say?
These are Reb's notes from an interview with someone. No name, just an initial Q.
Q.
No name, just an initial Q. Now, not just the fact that they said Q, but they also said no name.
It's been a while, but some of this is coming back now.
What does it say?
These are Reb's notes from an interview with someone. No name, just an initial Q.
Q. Who the hell's Q?
In Jason's notes, he used to manipulate the alphabet.
What if we shift the letters back by one character?
Okay, so Q's really P for
What is this for?
Oh, it's
Okay, so Q is really P. So they're talking about decoding her letters of stepping back in the alphabet. A lot of same stuff that you guys have been doing with the
Instead of
gematria.
buying for people on Christmas or birthdays,
Yeah, and P is Payseur.
I choose one random day each year to give gifts.
Why?
What makes you feel more special, getting another present when you're already raking them in, or getting one on a random Tuesday?
My Q key. Where'd you find this? I've been looking for this
For your vintage X28 Rice typewriter.
My Q key.
QAnon. QAnon's like a right-wing marketing
Now
group.
it is. All I'm saying is that doesn't necessarily
And then that goes into the other clip. But so a couple of things, very interesting, Matrix, talking about P, talking about Q, talking about no name on TV, filmed TV shows, and Q typewriter keys. Okay.
So I just want to let you know one thing too. Methods has me blocked, so I didn't see this. But I did see Bill the Answer at Bill the Answer have both of these as well. But that's awesome, man. I love the Q and the P. Oh my gosh. And if anyone can unblock me, that'd be great.
So we are I want to show you guys something. And this was Q post number 2788. And the other day I had an inspiration to read this Q post and do a little montage with the anonymous clip. And so I wanted to share this clip with you guys right here at the top, because I think that this Q post says a lot of what everybody that's been on this wall for over a year and a half now really feel. And it captures the moment. This was a very, very compelling Q post, and it inspired me to make this for you guys. Play this. Q 2788 February 18th 2019 13:57:32 Eastern Standard Time. How can an entity known only as Q, faceless, nameless, fameless, etc., began to ask questions on 4chan, now 8chan, and build something of this magnitude? How can this same Q entity garner such a massive amount of worldwide mainstream media, fake news attention, and attacks? How is it possible this Q entity can forecast future events or know when the president is about to tweet? How is it possible future proves past regarding information provided? How is it possible this Q entity, an entity who began by merely asking questions on 4chan and 8chan, was able to fill in the blank, think logically? People are craving truth. People are craving transparency. People are craving equal justice under the law. People are craving good. People are craving right. People are craving true freedom. People are craving safety and security. People are craving fill in the blank. Proofs negate falsehood conspiracy attacks. Those who attack have an agenda or remain plugged into the biggest disinformation campaign to be ever witnessed. Ask yourself, why are liberals always angry? Why do they curse? Why do they slander, push fake labels, racist, sexist, etc.? Why do they create emotional outbursts when challenged? Why are they violent? Why do they form mobs and packs? Why are they incapable of listening to the other side? Fascist. When you don't have facts to support your arguments, present logical reasoning, you must resort to the above tactic. The narrative is designed to keep people in a constant state of fear, thereby forcing anger, rage, violence. Emotionally unstable people are easier to control. They want you divided. Divided by race, divided by class, divided by religion, divided by political affiliation, divided as human beings. Divided, you are weak. Together, you are strong. When you are strong, you think for yourself. When you are strong, you challenge what you are told to believe. When you are strong, you are awake. When you are strong, you are no longer controlled. Trust yourself. Trust that you are not alone. Trust that there are good people right beside you, fighting for what we know to be right. God bless you all. Where we go one, we go all. Q. That was an amazing Q post. I really connected to that post to say to you guys, to give you strength and to give you encouragement and to show that the president has taken so much for us, so much heat this guy has taken for us, and to have the ability to see clearly like you guys do and to understand what is going on in our world is an absolute blessing. That Q post, I feel like, encompassed everything. What you saw in the clip earlier with the aggression the lady showed towards a man who was just simply having a conversation. You know, the idea they're trying to train us that conversations are dangerous. Information that's out there is dangerous for you. This is nothing but deep state. It's only going to get worse as they suppress and as they come after different people on Twitter. We've noticed a lot of the accounts that were tagged have already been taken down. So this was not a false warning. Matrix is we're getting ready to pass this over to him for a second. He's going to go over some of the so we're going to go over some of the recent stuff here, and then we're going to get Stormy Patriot in here to go over some stuff with you as well. So Matrix, are you there? I'm going to flip over to your section here, and we're going to go over some of this stuff.
Yes, I am here, and I cannot wait to hear StormyJoe Patriot's theory here that he's got going, and I tell you, some pretty interesting stuff. I can't wait to get over to him. But I wanted to just take a quick minute and congratulate you officially on your show here, the Q Lounge Live, which I'm addicted to. I love. Press 1, guys, if you're addicted to the Q Lounge Live. We've got to see some ones. And Shady, that voice reading was awesome, man. I probably listened to it about 50 times.
Thank you so much. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wanted to also real quick, I know before I get into this, I got a message from my mom, Mama Matrix, who she's probably listening right now, and I want to tell her how much I love her. And she's basically had a story for me the other day, and it says, "Hi Jeff, I'm so proud of you. Went to the doctor today. There was a woman in the waiting room, and she was talking about Cuba." She said she was a news buff, so I asked her if she had heard about Q. She said, "Yes, I'm a patriot." I asked her if she's ever heard about In the Matrix. She said to me, "Are you one of us?" I said, "QAnon?" I told her I was your mother, and now they call me Mama Matrix. She pulled out her phone, and she'll be listening in 2 red pills in 1 week for my mom. Where we go one, we go all. That's pretty good for my mom and for anybody to get 2 red pills. So God bless you, Mom. I love you. And thank you. So what do you think of that, Shady?
I think that is amazing. And it goes to show everyone out there that there's a lot more love in the room than people can see because of everyone needing to kind of keep everything quiet and not get, in the way of people who are destructive.
Yes, and this is the same Mama Matrix that had literally, I could not believe it. You can't make this stuff up. The 17 engine and the room 17, when she got checked into a room, she's fine. She thanks you all for her prayers. Look at all the love that Mama Matrix is getting in chat here. Oh my God. God bless you all. So thank you. Amazing. So 2876, I just want to start with this post. And, I had some issues today. I apologize that Shady and I did not do a Matrix Groove Hour, but we probably did about 8 shows already this week. I don't know. I can't even keep up. But anyways, 2876, Hillary Clinton status. Basically, Hillary says, political reports today, a wide-ranging disinfo campaign aimed at Democratic 2020 candidates is already underway on social media, with signs that foreign state actors are driving at least some of the activity. And I think I said, you're sick. Look at the Trump DHS Guts Task Force. Look at the Matrix imagery they're using. They use it all over the place. I think it's interesting, over the target. For those who think this war is fake, or we do not consider a major threat, this is a direct attack by Hillary Clinton on Q and pro-POTUS patriots. The article referenced has embedded link that literally targets pro-POTUS/Q Twitter accounts that have been identified by Clinton/Deep State as serious threats. Ability to shift the narrative. Twitter has already begun to remove targeted accounts, stages, under false pretenses. The war is real. The threat is real. Clinton panic, Clinton fear, Judgment Day coming, Q. And today's Q Lounge Live is Judgment Day coming. Welcome to the Q Lounge Live. Again, I'm addicted to this show, Shady. Then it was funny. Well, not funny. We had a buddy in our Discord over there at Patriots United. We were talking about this, and he posted this link here, and it goes to this AI voter fraud, IWR.AI. Yeah. And it says, link embedded in article, crooked in 3 kill boxes, Hillary, Q. And if you look at this list, it's like, here's all the voter fraud. There's 200. Who are they? Evolving influence and full report. So, we know some people on here. There's Run the Race right there. Run the Race. Let's see if Run the Race is around. That account is suspended now.
It was just suspended within the last few minutes. Okay.
These people obviously have orange X's on the left there. There's some others, a lot others that I remember here as well and know very well here, most of which I follow and they follow back. Oh, who's this guy? Who is that guy? That's in the Matrix. I made the list, guys. So essentially, with the next upcoming Q post, he goes tools of prevention online. Here's your the link to that as well. It's ICANN calls for a full DNSSEC deployment, promotes community collaboration to protect the internet. So they're trying to protect the internet. Thank you, Louis. Thank you. So we got that. Prevent truth, blah, blah, blah. AP status, breaking news. The internet infrastructure is under attack. The agency that oversees the online and address book warns, and that's ICANN. So we got that, and then we got all of these Twitter accounts being listed. Wow, because it's from that article I just showed you. Again, who's on this list, right? 2880. These are all patriots, and they're targeted by Hillary Clinton and the deep state, guys. Public service announcement, targeted, direct purge, targeted accounts. Here you go. Look at them all. And absolutely follow every single one of these people because they scare the deep state, okay? And I am honored to be on this list right here. There I am. So essentially, queued again. What is this, number 12? I can't keep up, guys. I don't know how much proof that we need that I was actually under a deep state Democratic playbook. Coincidence? Remember the Q post? And so with all of these 200 people, here we go. Patriots, you have been selected as threats and falsely labeled as foreign disinfo agents. Though they attempt to disguise at the bottom as not all, this is an attempt to target and remove by false pretense all threatening voices. Elimination of free speech to prevent loss of control. These actions are now being monitored and would strongly encourage forwarding this information to the appropriate members of Congress, Senate, and the media. We believe this is a test run to effectively silence the opposition while testing the potential media backlash and/or official response. This attempt to remove silence fascism. Those who oppose their views, narratives, should further demonstrate their resolve to control the message/narrative. Win at any cost. Q. I'm on that list.
That is.
You're on that list next. See what that says? Me now, these 200 people now, you next. Go ahead, Shitty.
Yeah, and just it's very good to be giving us this information and showing all of the accounts here, so you can do that. Go follow these accounts. Who knows what they're going to do? We don't know for sure, but we were told last year that Twitter was coming after our accounts, and they're going to claim you're a Russian bot or whatever it is. We went through how they're trying to make people afraid that put these names in the Russian bot list, and anybody that is a patriot comes up in the Russian bot list. So you don't find a lot of people with blue check marks on that list for sure.
Right. And I want to show you this because you guys all have seen the attack on me on Twitter. And I want to tell you, I showed you this before, and now it's confirmed that the Clinton/deep state is attacking Twitter accounts. Okay. And I was being attacked, and I told you about 2213. Study the Democratic playbook. It's a Q proof. That's a meme that I did. In the Matrix, do you believe in coincidences? Think of context. Nothing to see here. Q. Okay. People are spinning stuff around, and those people that are spinning the stuff around, and you believed them, are Democrats.
And they're subverting Q. Okay, they're coming out and they're taking stuff and they're twisting it around. Q's trying to point us to information and trying to make it seem like it is nefariously pointing to us when we're all out here on the wall attempting to inform folks and doing the best that we can to find the most relevant stuff from the Chan boards, getting that stuff out to you, and through all these Twitter accounts, and so much work has been being done in the background to think that constantly taking credit for work that we've done, and then at the same time taking credit for work that is accurate and discrediting it by saying, oh well, it's not accurate, but we did it. It doesn't make any sense. You guys have to understand the moves. You got to understand the playbook. And anyone who got caught up into that, please do not hesitate to rejoin this momentum that we have here. We bring you back. We welcome you with open arms, because you know what? People had to figure it out. Did you see that 0 Hour apologized to Praying Medic? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, so a lot people are coming out of it. So so I want you guys to also know this Red Castle QArmy. This is my 12th Q. This is the POTUS with the Red Castle, new DJT Red Castle. Where have you seen that before?
How about the million times Q posted it in the Matrix? Do you understand that? And then the next post is, what an amazing coincidence. I was POTUSed. Do you understand that I was POTUSed and Q'd? This was one of these, were also a Zero Delta. So I don't know how much more proof you need. I don't need to fight for myself anymore. People that are attacking me, we know who you are now. I called somebody a Democratic, whatever the name was, and I was right. And this is the proof right here. That post right there, and let's go down to this post right here. For those that think this war is fake, this article referenced and has an embedded link that literally targets pro-POTUS Q Twitter accounts. This is Q showing you that I scared the deep state. Thank you very much, Q. Much love. Shady, I'm good, man. If anybody has any questions out there, feel free to ask me. I'm going to be loud, be proud, and I'm going to be heard. If my Twitter account gets, thank you, Jenna. With you, Anons, much love. This is where I'll be. Okay, this is intheMAtrixxx.com. We've got the chat people here right now. We can go there. If you're logged in, you can say hi. Say hi to YouTube and Periscope. Chat people, if you're there, and Periscope. Want to show you that. There we go. Oops, Periscope. Forgot the PE. All right. So then if you sign into your social media, you can go in and you can actually have a login. And where you find that is on the menu button on the side. And you go all the way down and it'll say social media, QArmy social media. This is the QSN, QArmy social network. This is it, guys. These are people posting. It looks just like Facebook. It looks just like Twitter. It looks like all those kind of different things. It's here for you. We've got over 2,500 members. This is where I'll be. We control it. Patriots control it. Myself, Shady, Webmaster Q. This is it. Nobody can censor us here. So it begins. Philip, yes, thank you. This is my profile right here. One thing I do want to show you. Here's the Jimmy Church Fade the Black. You can like it, just like, over at whatever book or whoever. You can actually share this post onto other platforms. Okay. Let me see. So you can share this to Twitter. You can share all of this stuff to Twitter, to Facebook, to LinkedIn, to whatever. So get on over here, sign up. Webmaster Q is working feverishly. There are some known issues, so stand by and bear with us. Shady, I'm going to hand it back over to you. I think I've said my piece. I'm justified. I'm really vindicated now. Thank you, Q team. Thank you, POTUS. I stand tall for you. I'm at the ready. They are not occupying any more room in my mind. I'm moving forward. There's some beautiful people out there that have given me some amazing advice, and I thank each and every one of you. God bless.
Everyone out there has to understand that this is all new ground for all of us. Everybody has an emotional reaction to their reality. We're working on trying to deduce our reality without the emotional reaction, and that clouds your vision a little bit sometimes. So this is this is all about you guys. It's all about America, and it's all about freedom. And the freedom to disagree is that it's a freedom to disagree. So we understand that. And Matrix, I appreciate the little presentation there, because that does say a lot. And we are we're all in this together. And that's the message that we're bringing to you guys. And so real quick, we're getting ready to
wait. Shady. Somebody just asked me why I use PayPal, because donations are freedom. And you see this website and social media network that we're bringing you. Do you see the information that we're bringing you? It costs time. It costs money. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, I do have a PayPal. Shady and I do take donations. Okay. We have a Patreon and we have a PayPal. So if you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee or what have you, and pay us, donate for the movement. We're going to keep bringing you and upgrading the site. We're going to keep bringing you great content. I just wanted to answer that question for you because I saw that it was up there. I hope it's a great answer. Thank you.
So we have a little bit of the stuff that's going on this week is, and thanks for all the support, all of the people that have supported us. This could not be done without you. This is a group effort. Matrix and I have really, picked our brains out to bring something that is unseen currently on the internet, so that you can bring your normie friends to this spot and they can find most of the stuff in one spot. That's the end goal here. So we're getting ready to bring on our special guest here in just a second. I'm going to read this Q post that's relevant to him. First, I want to show you this graphic, this meme here that was put up by an anon, and this was posted on 2/20, just to give you an idea of what happened in the news today. You said, but you wish, but you knew that already, hence why ASSDNY Maxine Waters are attempting to keep the insurance scheme ongoing post-Mueller. Fear the fun begins directly after will make the Super Bowl look like a puppy show. And so today we have the charges filed against Mr. Kraft of the Patriots. And Q said there looks like a puppy show, and then gave us more info about what he means by a puppy show and what Mr. Kraft was doing in a facility that had video surveillance of trying to catch them in the human trafficking thing. They're saying that Mr. Kraft has no connection to human trafficking or charges related to that, but Q did give us the post about the puppy and the Super Bowl 2 days before this news came out. So future proofs past there again. Very interesting. So our guest here tonight is coming to us to give you guys a little bit of stuff that you can share with people that may not quite understand what's going on with the whole Mueller thing. But Q gave us a post here today, 2856. I'm going to read this post, and then we're going to open up a discussion between our guest Stormy Patriot Joe Matrix and I about some of the stuff that he's got lined up to share with you. So Q drops these 3 Twitter links to Kim Strassel and to Rob Reiner and another news source here, and says, what happened to the Mueller hype? What happened to the Mueller will take down the POTUS threats at John Brennan? Was Mueller the insurance policy, aka the blockade, designed to restrict POTUS's ability to enforce the law? Traitors. New talking points being pushed, backing away from Mueller as the savior regarding the excuse A, excuse B, excuse C. Why are the new investigations by Adam Schiff being started? If, as he stated, for almost 2 years, evidence exists that ties the president to Russia. If they had evidence, do you think it would have leaked? If they had evidence, would they be backing away and playing down the Mueller report about to be released? First, they pushed for a special counsel. Now they claim the special counsel didn't look deep enough. If the special counsel report is classified, how do they know where, who, when, why, and how deep each case? If the Supreme Counsel report is classified, how do they know the conclusions of the report? Are new investigations designed to be an insurance extension? Designed to prevent the president from cleaning house? Attack on political opponents who are actively conducting and leading investigations into the president for XYZ charges beyond Mueller for XYZ reasons? Zero evidence to support obstruction trap? Southern District of New York opening private investigations for the sole purpose of finding a crime? Evidence to support? Evidence presented. Does SDNY report to Barr? Watch the news. Maxine Waters opening new investigations into the finances of the president and his family. Why did the Dems state things will calm down if we retake the House prior to the midterm elections? Was there a plan to retake the House in order to chair each respective committee in order to start new erroneous investigations in an attempt to retain the blockade? Retain the insurance policy, retain the optical illusion that a crime was committed, retain the narrative, retain the Democratic base outrage, retain the base obstruction, retain the base support to block the president's agenda. If you know your opponent's move, what advantages that does present? If you have the truth on your side, what advantages does that present? If you have full control of the U.S. military, what advantages does that present? You have complete authority to declass, what advantages does that present? You have the support of the American people, patriots, what advantages does that present? Do not trust the fake news media. You are the majority. Mueller to declass to OIG to truth to justice. The Great Awakening. You are the news now. Huge, huge drop there for people who do not understand what is going on, and insight for people who do understand what is going on. The other day on the Matrix Groove Hour, we read the conversation back and forth. The Q's dropping us the conversation between Mueller and Barr. Very interesting, especially considering what we're getting ready to discuss right now. And I'm hoping I can bring my guest in here to join us, Mr. Stormy Patriot Joe from Twitter. If you guys are not following this gentleman on Twitter, I'm telling you, his Twitter is awesome. He does a great job, and he really does. He really does have some very cool stuff to present to you guys tonight. So Matrix and I wanted to bring him on and share some of this with you, and show you a little bit about, like, what this is going to turn out to be here in the near future. So Stormy Patriot Joe, are you with us?
Yeah, Stormy, real quick before you start, man, I just want to tell you, I'm a big fan of yours. So Stormy and I have been messaging back and forth. I respect a lot of his decodes are amazing. And he's at Stormy, STORMY, Patriot 21. And we call him Stormy Joe. Thank you very much for being here, brother. Again, like I said, big fan. Thanks for being our first regular anon who's going to be a star on the show, man. Thank you very much, brother.
Matrix, Shady, I'm honored to be here. I'm so excited. Just a bigger voice coming into the movement. I love you all. I love everything that this movement is about. I'm so excited. Just real quick, like Matrix mentioned, a lot of you have seen me on Twitter. That's the only place I am putting information out right now. But it's a fun little fusion of memes and deep decodes and logical based threads, and that's kind of what we're going to go through here today. Is one of the threads I put together. But my feed also goes through intheMAtrixxx.com, so you can find me there too if you're not on Twitter. And it sounds like a bunch of us aren't going to be on Twitter for too long. But
it may not last much longer.
You're going to get a QArmy social network account, right? I'm going to drop that link down there for everybody. If you guys aren't on because that's where I'm going to be. I don't know if we're dropping that. I haven't been. Mods probably already are doing it because we've got amazing mods. But get over there too, Joe. I'd love to make sure that you get an account up there too. Even if we don't use it right now, it'll be a place to where if we need to regroup or have a come to each other, and find each other again, this will be a good place to do it. Should Twitter, Facebook go down, Discord, anything. So make sure you get your account. I'm going to drop the link again. And thanks for being here, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody sign in and get that done. Matrix asked a really important question the other day. He asked, how did you find Q? And I just wanted to give you a real 10-minute 2-minute background on myself. So it was the Vegas shooting. I was watching the Vegas shooting in real time, and instantly that night I couldn't get to sleep. I was like, this doesn't sit well. This is nobody's telling us the truth. Nothing about the situation makes any sense. So I dove down the rabbit hole, jumped right into the alternative media. It was the only place anybody was making any sense. So I was on going through YouTube and 4chan, and on October 28th, I saw the first few Q drops starting to fall in. And man, I got hooked right away. I saw the connection with him and the Q team in POTUS. I've been 100% Q. I've never wavered, and I never will. 100% POTUS here. And basically, Q has changed my life, and it's changed the way I look at everything. It really has. Every part of my life, I look at it in a totally different way. And I know Matrix and I have talked about it on the other side of this deep state takedown. It's going to be amazing unity on the other side, and that's really what I'm looking forward to. But I built the Twitter account just strictly for the Q movement. I built it after just seeing the first few Q posts, so that's all my posts are about on there is just some fun humor with memes, decodes, threads. I found Matrix pretty quickly, that red castle, green castle that keeps popping up throughout the Q drop. That was one of the first things that I saw with Matrix, and we connected from there, which brought me to Shady, the Q Lounge. I've been a huge fan and been watching the Q Lounge shows. So I'm truly honored to be a guest. I really put together this particular thread because that was one of the earliest adapters to what Robert Mueller is really doing. And when I put it together, this was over a year ago, by the way. It kind of looped Robert Mueller and Trey Gowdy a little bit together because they were both being attacked left, right, and center at the time. And I saw the initial Q drops from the beginning, and I kind of really adapted quickly to what was really going on. But what I'm going to share with you is just kind of a framework. You're gonna see some things you might already know here today. You're gonna learn some things, but the bigger picture is how to distill this information and take it to the other people. That there's maybe 30 million of us that are really following Q. Well, there's 330 people in the United States and 7 billion people in the world. So we got our work in front of us. We are the news now, and that's what this is all about. Is things like this thread that you're going to see that starts off with the initial Q post, but from everything from there forward is all public source information. And I'll thread this later on Twitter with all the sources, so you'll be able to see it, and it will go to the intheMAtrixxx site, so you'll be able to use this information. But it's more so just the framework about how to distill information to get out to people. So let's get through it. Okay, so one of the very first Q posts that you'll see, Q post 3 in the upper left column. Open your eyes. It finally came out that Rob and Bob were key players in Uranium One scandal. Don't you think POTUS would be tweeting about removing these guys with the clear conflict they have? Why did POTUS meet with Bob under the cover of the FBI interview? Bob is unable to serve because of his term limits with the FBI director's role. And Gowdy also says Jim Comey's history is going to reflect poorly on Jim Comey. That's what Gowdy was saying at the time. And this is October 29th, 2017. It's the third Q drop ever. And if you go over to the right, Q drop 14 on the bottom in the red box, what authority does POTUS have, specifically around the Marines? Why is that important? What is Mueller's background? Was he in the military? And the bottom left is about Trey Gowdy. So Trey Gowdy's departure from the House Ethics Committee, it's not about testifying. He's not needed to testify. Think logically. No need to step down if he's going to testify. Do not chase the misinformation. What role may Trey Gowdy be walking into? Who can we trust? So this was both in January of 2018. So at that particular time, Trey Gowdy was telling the world, hey, Robert Mueller has got to work his process. Robert Mueller is the good guy. Robert Mueller follows the law. And Trey Gowdy was getting ripped apart left, right, and center. You know, the people that I would try to talk to regarding Trey at this time were telling me I'm crazy. He's deep state. He couldn't get anything done with Benghazi. He's a bad actor. He's resigning. He's walking away. This guy's no good. But if you look right here, Q's telling you the opposite. He's telling you he's got a future role, and just, you know, don't follow the misinformation. So I put that in my mind, and I put it away, and it served me well. So we're going to go through. I'll source everything, and like I said, I'll link all this out. I'll do a full thread on Twitter and get this in the intheMAtrixxx site as well. So the first source here is right on Wikipedia. It's Robert Mueller's Wikipedia. In the upper right in the box, it says Robert Mueller was in the Marines, and he served from 1968 to 1971. So he served for 4 years. And where was he doing? He was in the Vietnam War, and he received the Bronze Star for heroism and a Purple Heart. And just so you guys know, you know, you don't need to DM me about all the horrible things Robert Mueller's done in his life. Trust me, I know. So we're not here to judge Robert Mueller. What the Q team is doing with some of these actors, strings get cut, things happen. The Q team has got a much bigger agenda than what Robert Mueller or Rod Rosenstein or any of these actors have done in their past. This is much bigger. So if they can use these guys and put them on the right track and cut the strings and use their leverage to take down the deep state, then I'm all for it. But that's me personally. But, you know, in the end, God will judge these people. We're not here to judge them. I'm going to just go through what I've seen his actions since he's taken this position, and we'll see where this goes. But Q pointed out to research his history, and there it is. So what does the Marines the POTUS, they answer directly to the President in the United States. So the President of the United States can actually call a Marine back into duty, and that's maybe what happened with Robert Mueller. Let's go through it. So, in Robert Mueller's Wikipedia page on the bottom left, he served the FBI director's role for 12 years. And what's the term limit for the FBI director's role? Well, I got this source. It links right to the government site, but basically the Federation of American Scientists states that the FBI director's role has a 10-year term limit, and the office can only be reappointed through Congress, which Barack Obama actually did that. Barack Obama extended Robert Mueller for another 2 years, so he was ineligible to be extended any further from President Trump. So when POTUS said,
and a lot of people don't realize that only listen to the regular news, that that this was obviously not the reason.
So public source here, CNN, let's say June 13th, 2017, Trump interviewed Robert Mueller for the FBI job the day before he was tapped for special counsel. Okay. That wasn't just CNN giving you this information. that was the story. That's what the Trump team, that's what everybody put out.
Everybody said that. That's right.
Everybody said that. That's what the meeting was about. But what we do know is President Trump and Robert Mueller had a one-on-one for hours on end with nobody else. Okay. So we know right here that he was tapped out for the position, that he could not take this FBI director's role. So I think personally, in reading through the Q posts, this is exactly where the plan really started. My personal take is they said to Robert, or POTUS said to Robert, you've done these things in your past. You have two options in front of you. You can be on our side and help take down the deep state, or you can be part of the problem and you can get in line with the people that we're going to take down. But this offer stands here today. However you leave this room, that's the path you're going to go on, and this offer's final. And he took the special counsel role the next day. And let's take a look at what he's done since. So right after that, not shortly after that, in December 12th, 2017, we have Business Insider as the source, and you can source it many other different ways. But one of his first actions was to take down the Podesta Group. The Podesta Group was the most important and influential lobbying firm in the world, both Republican, Democrat, you name it. The Podesta Group was the most, it controlled everything. It controlled the money flow. It went out to the intelligence agencies. It funded which state and federal and all kinds of elections. The Podesta Group was formed in 1988. And John and Tony Podesta had their hands in everything. And poof, Robert Mueller, just a few months into the job, that's his first major action, is to take down the Podesta Group. And he refers out Tony Podesta for prosecution. Right here in the bottom red box, well, this is sourced from the Chicago Tribune, August 1st, 2018. American lobbyists violated the laws by not registering their work for the Ukraine government. According to people familiar with the matter, does any of that sound like Donald Trump?
And it sounds completely like Donald Trump.
As far as Tony Podesta being connected to Donald Trump, no. It's Tony Podesta was just taken down for his illegal matters with the Ukraine government. Okay. So now we go to his brother John, who everybody knows in the pizza scandals, if you will. But just on his own Wikipedia page on the left, if you go from the bottom up, he's had his hand in all the major players. Okay, so he started as a lower staff person in the Bill Clinton organization, his first term, and then when Bill got reelected, he moved up. He became chief of staff for Bill Clinton. Then he worked under Barack Obama as well. And then, as we know, he became Hillary Clinton's campaign manager. So John Podesta, brother of Tony, ran the Podesta Group since 1988, was a major player with Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton. So this is as big as it gets, basically.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't really quite understand the scope and the breadth of the Podesta Group and what was really going on in Ukraine and Syria and Libya and all of the different stuff that they were doing. And this was taken apart really soon after Q started to post as well.
Yeah, Mike Hess said Podesta leads to the banks, right? So also remember Q's Titanic post, and we did some digging on the Titanic, and there's actually a Podesta surname there in on the Titanic
that survived.
That survived. So that was in a Q post, could be leading into the bloodlines, right?
And also kind of hinting at some maybe untrue stories about how that boat sank and what really happened there, and the idea that Guggenheim, Astor, and Strauss didn't make it to their lifeboats.
Right, perfect. This particular page really breaks down a lot of what we're going to cover here. So it's the Podesta Group's Wikipedia page, and White Hats must have got in here and put some nice little updates. So in that box. It kind of really lays out everything that Robert Mueller's been doing. So it goes back and it kind of shows you a little bit of history here. So the Podesta Group received $900,000 between 2011 and 2012 from a Brussels-based European Center for Modern Ukraine. They call it the ECMU. This group is sympathetic to then Ukraine President Viktor Weird Al Yankovic, and his party regions. As of October of 2017, the Podesta Group was reported under investigation from Special Counsel Robert Mueller for potentially violating what? What were they violating? Oh, the Foreign Agents Registration Act. We know that from the Q post as well. Track FARA. Okay. In the course of its work with the ECMU, the Podesta Group was one of 6 lobbying firms that participated from 2012 to 2014 in public relations with who? Oh, Paul Manafort, behalf of the ECMU, the Ukraine's pro-Russian party regions. The campaign reportedly was designed and stated goal of improving Ukraine's stated Western audiences with the possibility to prelude to the Ukraine membership. And then it goes on and it points right directly to Manafort's deputy, Richard Gates. Okay, so right there on Podesta's own Wikipedia page, it mentions Robert Mueller is taken down for their acts with the then President Viktor Yankovic, Paul Manafort, and Rick Gates. All those people, they're all connected to the Podesta Group. They're all connected to the DNC and Hillary and Soros. Nothing about Donald Trump and his administration. And as you move forward, here's the Paul Manafort indictment. Okay, so it's 31 pages long, the indictment. I've read the whole thing. I just pasted a few paragraphs because we don't have time to go through 31 pages of an indictment. But this is the actual indictment. There's the case stamps and the time, and you can see. Go ahead and put this in one of your placeholders in the matrix for your website. But United States versus Paul Manafort and Richard Gates. That's one of the indictments. So as we just saw, it's almost exact carbon copy of the Podesta Group's Wikipedia page. It's mentioning all the same exact players. Defendants Manafort and Rick Gates. Time frame 2006 to 2015. These guys, Manafort and Stone, came on the Trump campaign for 2 months, in 2016. It had nothing to do with any of this. And there's Victor's names here in this indictment as well. So all the same exact people that are all intimately tied with Podesta Group that were doing this business that they're discussing here in these indictments. And then on page 11 in the bottom box, it's an exact carbon copy of what I just read. It talks about the Union, the Ukraine, 2012, Manafort and Gates, lobbying firm, illegal relations. Exactly. So boom. What Robert Mueller is doing under the guise of hunting Trump, who is he really hunting? Well, the hunted became the hunted,
We know who he's hunting.
So this just kind of lays out, there's 2 pages here from a Vox source, January posted. It's just kind of going through who's been indicted, and it goes deeper. So the threads go deeper. You know, we kind of went through the Manafort and Rick Gates on the left, and then on the right, the last 2 there, Van der Zaan and Killimek. You could see they're all connected to Rick Gates. They're all connected to Manafort. So again, it just spiderwebs out. That's what Mueller's doing. He's indicting all these people connected to the Podestas in the deep state. Nothing, as we'll see later, nothing is connected to Trump. Nothing that Robert Mueller is doing is taking down the Trump campaign at all. I mean, they can spin it all they want and say, well, you know, Paul Manafort, administrator of the Trump organization, was indicted today. But what was he indicted for?
They don't
and
say.
It's all right here. You just have to be able to take the crumbs and do your own research. And this is where I started to make the meme. Okay, so this right here kind of had me fall out of my chair. It was actually an interview that Trump was doing live on with the New York Times. And the Daily Caller is my source. I couldn't find it out of the New York Times, but the Daily Caller on December of 28th of 17 is quoting the New York Times, and they're quoting the conversation that Trump is having with the New York Times person. And Trump is just trolling them. You know, you gotta love POTUS for everything that he does, but man, his trolling skills are off the charts. Okay, and when he's trolling, that's when you know he's talking to us. Okay, so he goes, whatever happened to the Podestas? They had this huge, wide-ranging firm, and it just left in a disgrace. The whole thing, you never really heard about it. He's trolling the New York Times in an interview about the Podestas, and the New York Times people have no idea what's going on. And then Trump references, you know, that the Mueller team is going after the Ukraine leader, Viktor Yanukovych, this lobbying firm that was doing activity with Paul Manafort. He's just going on and on and on, just totally trolling the New York Times. And Daily Caller picked it up and put it in this piece. And that was the day where I said, I went back to my early Q post and I looked back and I said he was military. He had this interview with Trump behind the scenes. He's taking down the Podesta group. Trump is now confirming that he's in on it because he's trolling the New York Times. He's letting us know, hey, you know, look into this. What's going on with the Podestas? What happened to their firm? You don't hear about it. It was a hundreds of millions of dollars worth of a firm that had, you know, a 20-something, 30-year career, and it's just gone in a heartbeat. What happened? And what were they doing with this Ukraine president? What's going on with him? That's Trump just trolling and letting us know, we got this. This is hilarious. We're taking down the deep state, and I'm just trolling the New York Times over it. And from that day forward, I've just been having the ride of my life. Anybody who's been on my Twitter, you know, I peg, you know, Mueller time hashtag, resist hashtag, how's Mueller doing? I've been doing it ever since. You know, that initial meme I put up there with Mueller and Gowdy, that's been up for over 13 months. So I've been just having the time of my life since I saw this interview.
Yeah, Q's are pretty good at trolling too. Remember the plants need water in reference to Manafort.
Yeah, absolutely. So next source, you know, it's Radio Free Europe. You know, you can find it in other places, but that's where I found it first. So back in August, he was brought up on charges, and Viktor Yanukovych, what was he brought up for? Oh, he was brought up for treason. And he finally, just about 2 weeks ago, he got convicted. He's doing 13 years for treason. So everybody that we just discussed, we're all working together in the Ukraine doing deals with around uranium and money laundering. I read further, it was, you know, 75 million and more in these transactions, huge, large transactions, hundreds of millions of dollars with Podestas, with Manafort, Gates, all these guys. Absolutely nothing to do with Donald Trump. And this was just kind of a funny nod that Donald Trump does here on December 3rd of 2018. He says, Bob Mueller. So I'm going to stop there. You know, I was just thinking to myself, if some guy, Robert Mueller, is this hard FBI background guy, and he's digging into my finances, he's digging into my life, he's looking under every rock to turn me over, and the whole world thinks this guy is going to impeach me, and I'm all done. Would I be referring to him as Bob? I was like, that's a term of endearment. Hey, Bob Mueller. So I was thinking that this whole entire tweet was really a nod to us Anons to say, take a look at this. This guy isn't what you think. So, and that's exactly what he writes next. He says, hey, Bob Mueller is really a much different man than most people think. So he's telling you, there's a lot on the surface that people think, but behind the scenes, he put together a band of angry Democrats, and really what he did was load that team with a bunch of people they wanted to take down too. The pit bull and all that whole team of angry Democrats. That's part of what they did. Keep their enemies close, and those guys will probably be going down too. But I thought this was just kind of a funny nod to the Anons, to us, to let us know Bob's not really doing what everybody thinks he's doing. And then if this didn't get you by now, this had to hit it out of the park. Donald Trump, as we know, is a brilliant, brilliant man. And then you take a genius and you give him military intelligence and clearance. He can see into everybody. So he didn't just hire Bill Barr without knowing his background. And what's Bill Barr's background? Well, he's got a 30-year relationship with the guy right behind him there, and that's Robert Mueller. These guys are best friends. Their wives hang out. Their kids go to church together. They do everything together. So if Robert Mueller was this bad actor that's going to take down Donald Trump and blow up MAGA forever, like the press is telling you, would you hire his best friend and put him in a position like the Attorney General? No, you wouldn't. And POTUS isn't stupid, and our military intelligence isn't stupid. This is all trust the plan. This is all going down, and they're here to chew some tail, and I can't wait for it. And it's really been happening already, as I just showed you.
Yeah, and really to see the Q posts that have come out in the last couple of days, getting this insight into the conversations there kind of does give you that clue, like this is entrenched. No one could really know this was the operation. Now all of a sudden we have Adam Schiff and all these people pretending like they know what's going to come out in the report, and they're going to launch new reports or new investigations right at the same time. We have the president going overseas to Vietnam. And the Fox News announcing today that the Mueller report will not be next week. Q has said within the coming weeks the Mueller report has to come out before the D-class, and that we'll know why then. And I think that has a lot to do with who we're really targeting. Stormy, I don't know what you think about that, but it really does seem to me that that this isn't going to be a nothing burger. It's going to be the other side of the burger.
Yeah, so like Q kind of laid out the process to us. So we know the process. We first had to get Barr in place. That's done. And then the report's going to come out to kind of clear Trump, and that's going to go to Bill Barr. And then the full report is going to bleed into the OIG releases, those declassifications. So Q says, this has to be the order, and you're going to understand it in time. That's why, because a lot of what Robert Mueller is doing, as we just kind of went through a lot of it, and there's more things to come, that's going to be part of the OIGD classes, and get those placeholders ready because they're all full of deep state actors. So this, and if you weren't convinced up to here, okay, this is where my friends and family and my closed groups that I deal with, and I was sending these pieces piecemeal, people that don't go into Q, and some of them aren't even on social platforms. I was slowly bringing them along, but on this particular day, the day before this report came out, was the day where Michael Cohen was in front of Congress telling the world that Donald Trump was lying, that Donald Trump was instructing people. Donald Trump instructed him, his attorney, to lie. So we had over 200 accounts from every news media that you can imagine. They were all saying Donald Trump needs to be impeached. This is impeachable. He directed Michael Cohen to lie under oath. This is impeachable. They were gone. They thought POTUS was out of there. They already started talking about Mike Pence. Donald Trump was done in their eyes. I mean, they were finished. What happens? Robert Mueller hadn't commented on anything up to this point, not a single thing. He comes flying out, Fireman Bob, if you will. Let me tell you something. And he puts the fire right on out on Michael Cohen. He comes out and puts it down and says, Michael Cohen, that's not what happened at all. That's not accurate. Now, if Robert Mueller was really doing what the MSN has been telling you the whole time, doing everything in his power to destroy the Trump campaign, he would not have come out and put this fire out. He would have let it burn and let it fester and let it turn into whatever. But that's not what he did. He came out and put it out right away. And for those people, like I was telling you about, my friends and family members and these other closed groups that aren't putting all their time and effort into the Q movement, and I'm just kind of slowly red pilling them along with these public sources. On this particular day, my phone blew up, my emails blew up, my Twitter DMs blew up, saying, "Oh my God, I get it now. The light went on. You're right. This is all a deep state takedown, because he would have never have done this." And this was the Guardian, January 18th of 19, that this would happen. So what came next in just a couple of weeks ago was the bipartisan Senate report. They totally cleared Trump, and you have to understand that they have access to a lot of Robert Mueller's work. Do they have every single thing that Robert Mueller's seen or done? Probably not every single thing or done, but I could tell you Robert Mueller would not have allowed this Judiciary Committee to come out and broadly, publicly say that there's nothing against Trump in this report. So basically, we got the information right here. When they went public with this and said there's no collusion, there's no direct evidence of any collusion, Trump even retweeted a little blurb from MSNBC trying to admit the same thing, that, hey, there's no there. So Trump and his team are cleared. It's just a matter of how they're going to release it, and those are on our timelines. So, why keep Robert Mueller tied up? Well, you see what he's been doing. It's been a perfect cover. He's been ripping apart the deep state left, right, and center. So, they'll keep him on until they're ready. But that's coming soon. We gotten to the point where his report is either going to be next week or the week after. And then they're going to start with the OIG declassifications, and then it's on from there. But what was he doing also? Well, as we know, Michael Flynn's a hero. Michael Flynn, if you haven't researched Michael Flynn, go ahead and dive into his history, and you'll see what's coming next. Okay. So, December 5th of 2018, CBS News reports that Michael Flynn has met with Robert Mueller 19 times. And has cooperated and provided the government with all kinds of information. And Robert Mueller has several ongoing investigations. Okay, and that's why Michael Flynn never gets charged, and they keep kicking this down the road, and they appear in court, and things. The judge is basically begging Michael Flynn to say, well, I didn't really lie, so let's just end this. But they don't. They just keep it going, because that's all part of the plan. They're riding this through for Michael Flynn and Robert Mueller. Michael Flynn took the bullets to be able to give Robert Mueller all the information he had when he was in the highest levels of the organization. He knows where all the bodies are buried. Michael Flynn does. Michael Flynn's a hero. God bless Michael Flynn, the Flynn family. They're all patriots, 100% patriots. So I couldn't.
Yes, I stand with Flynn.
More excited.
Yeah, and the Flynn General Flynn Defense Fund. You can find it on intheMAtrixxx.
I actually just dropped a link to that.
Yeah, perfect. Yes, I stand with you, General Flynn, and God bless you, your family, and thank you for what you've done, taking the rubber bullets for us. And
a lot of people to realize what he's done for us, man. It is pretty amazing the way that he refused to eliminate his legal trouble because of the information that he's providing for you guys. He stepped on a landmine.
That's right. And I just want to let you know that your support for General Flynn does not go unnoticed. He likes the hashtag QArmy. Give him a little shout out as well. You never know, he might follow you. Also, he did say, God bless you and your unwavering support on Christmas Eve, which is actually his actual birthday too. So I feel that that message also goes out to the QArmy. He knows the QArmy. He loves it. He knows Payseur. He knows everything that we've been talking about. So God bless him.
Yeah, and just to further that, as you guys see, I've done nothing on my Twitter since the beginning of time, just pumping nothing but Q and Mega. And out of the blue, a couple months ago, General Flynn followed me. So that's another Q proof, if you will. He's following people that really push the Q movement. Okay, so yes, General Flynn was part of this plan from the get-go, but yeah, he put himself out there. He put himself out there financially. And any time, obviously, that you're really behind the scenes taking down the deep state, his life's in jeopardy. His whole family's in jeopardy. So pray for General Flynn. He's a patriot. This Q group, POTUS, they really saved the nation and saved the world, actually.
Under such media pressure, to make these steps and to make these moves and to be able to predict these moves in who knows how long in advance. This is this is absolutely amazing to see starting to all come together.
This meme might be a little hard to see either on a phone or what have you. I'll kind of just go around the horn and read out what this. I had made this when the other day. Just I went back and I implore all you to do so. General Flynn hasn't tweeted in a while, but go back through his Twitter. Most of what I've captured here is right off of General Flynn's Twitter, and there's some really, really good information on his Twitter, especially back in the November of 2016 time frame. But just to kind of give you an idea, if you haven't done a lot of research on General Flynn, this will just give you a quick, for instance, bottom left, he was fired by Barack Obama. Okay. And why was he fired? Barack Obama. One of the big reasons he was fired by Barack Obama was because Michael Flynn didn't like the way that radical Islam was being coddled throughout the world and being actually injected into the United States government. So he had that conflict with Barack Obama. Barack Obama fired General Flynn. And the upper left, Michael Flynn writes a book about the field of flight, and Trump tweets that a lot. It's the global war on radical Islam. So that's part of what General Flynn's about. And then on the right side, he's tweeting about Anthony Weiner. He's talking. He's known to have one of the largest files on the pedo networks, elite pedo networks. General Flynn does. So he's been tweeting back in 2016 about taking down Anthony Weiner. He talks about spirit cooking. He talks about it all. And then on the bottom right is him talking about taking down John Podesta in particular and Hillary Clinton. And just a little side note, the title within that tweet, General Flynn writes, "Enough is enough." So, that's 2016. General Flynn has given us a Q proof right from the get-go. So that's kind of interesting. And if you look through his tweets from 2016, you'll see some more Q lingo. I kind of backed off it because I didn't want to put out too much in open source, but it's all there. It's really good, but you'll get a good flavor of what General Flynn's all about. He's obviously a patriot, and he's about taking down radical Islam and taking down pedos and taking down corruption, Hillary Clinton, John Podesta, Anthony Weiner, spirit cookers, radical Islam. So what do you think he's been talking to Robert Mueller about in these 19 interviews? So what do you think's coming next? Okay, so that's exactly what's coming next, folks. That's what's coming out of the Robert Mueller, what he hands over him. Whether it's exactly Robert Mueller's indictments and it has his name attached to it or not, maybe like some of these other things, he's pushed it over to Horowitz or whatever. But that's what this is all about. We had to get General Flynn's information on record. So Q told us early on, how do we get that information on record? Well, if you're involved in a crime like lying to the FBI or whatever, you have to tell the FBI of anything that you know of any crime. So he was able to turn over all his documents, all his records. That's all now in the hands of people who can act on it, patriots. And that's why they had 19 interviews, and that's where that's going next.
Yeah, and that gives a good, a good insight for people out there, for you guys to be able to bring your friends or people, someone you're trying to red pill a little bit about this stuff, to this episode, and to check out the information and what he's showing you here. This is very compelling for the case that Mr. Mueller is absolutely doing what he's been told to do, and we all know that Mueller has some severe issues. But at the same time, Q told us that not everyone was bad, and people do what they need to do to protect their families a lot of the times. If you're held to a decision of do this for the deep state or we take out your family, most people would choose to protect their family. It's just the way it is. It's the way that they manipulate people, and it's what they do. Part of what the president was saying about freeing freedom or freeing them, or Q was talking about with the State of the Union, has a lot to do with this. It has a lot to do with the blackmail aspect of this, the blackmail reality of Hollywood, and the way that the way the system has been working for so long. Stormy, is this backwards, backroom deal, corruption from one side or the other, and to get our politics to work and to function in a campaign, and the structure to work and function, we've got to. We've got to come together as patriots and set up better systems that are more productive for people who are paying attention to what's really going on, as opposed to the fodder for everyone who just listens to the headline and kind of moves on.
Perfect. And I thought this is hilarious, and I'm sure a lot of you have caught on by this point, is when Trump is out there tweeting about a witch hunt. Knowing what I just went through here, and how it all is pointing towards the Podestas, the deep state, and the witch hunt. Who would that be? Well, that would be Hillary Rotten Clinton right there. She knows. Look at her. She's looking right at it.
Looking at what there?
She's looking at the witch. That's it. She knows it's coming down on her. That's what's going on. So that's hilarious. Yeah. So Trump, troller in chief, is what I like to call him. Man, couldn't be more excited the way he goes about things. Some people say, oh, he needs to talk nicer or what. No, he's perfect. I love every second of it.
What'd you think about that Q post with "We love our memes, folks" from Q Plus?
Yeah, exactly.
That's super special, man. There's just you could just hear him saying it in your head.
So this is kind of the book end of this thread, really. So we started with the very first initial Q post, kind of giving you the breadcrumbs, if you will, and then everything in between there I showed you was all 100% public source, and almost all of it is very liberal public source. It was CNN and Politico and all these liberal sites, and New York Times and Wikipedia. So that's the kind of information that I'll thread out. I'll put it out. It'll go to my Twitter, and it will feed over to intheMAtrixxx site. And those are the types of things that you can put together and red pill your friends that aren't kind of entrenched into the Q movement. And we're going to need to be able to do this kind of thing going forward. But just to kind of wrap up this part of it, it just comes back and shows you that I was right. Okay. So on the left, it says, make no mistake about it, Representative Trey Gowdy is a patriot. So he told you in the beginning, we got a role for Trey, and now at the end, he's telling you Trey is a patriot. So whether that role is just to be on Fox News and break down the spin zone, if you will, because everything that's going to be happening, all the other talking heads are going to be trying to say something totally different than the truth, like they have been. So maybe Trey's role is just to red pill the public because he has the background. He has that lawyer mentality. He's going to be able to take apart anybody who comes on that show and tries to say that this somehow was against the Trump campaign, that he's going to rip that apart. But I personally think he's got another role in front of him. It might be Rod Rosenstein's replacement is a possible fit for him. It might be a Supreme Court nomination down the road. It might be helping out with the military tribunals if and when those happen. So Trey Gowdy, as Q is pointing out, is a patriot. So I got proven correct when I put that meme out there 13 months ago that said, listen, Trey Gowdy's working. He's on the right squad. He's doing the right things. God bless Trey Gowdy. And then on the right side, whether you love Robert Mueller's past or not, it says Robert Mueller's going to face charges regarding uranium one. He is working to save himself. So what does that mean? Q is verifying that Mueller is working with the Q team. He's working with the Q team. So is his charges for his wrongdoings and uranium one either disappear entirely or he gets a very limited sentence. So, I like to tell people, I can't judge what Robert Mueller is going to be looked at. That's up to God. But I can tell you that if he really is this really big takedown center point of the deep state, I can tell you the history of the United States are going to reflect a lot brighter on Robert Mueller's past. We're going to forget a lot of things about, being the bag man for uranium one or cleaning up some things around 9/11 or some of the things he did against the Russian, the Irish mob in Boston. It's going to be, this was the guy who behind the scenes was helping put the deep state away. So, that's maybe why Trump says Bob is a very different guy than most people think. But that's not really us to really figure out. All we did here tonight was just kind of logically go through all the public information from those initial Q posts. And if you're really open-minded and you really can kind of read things, there's no way you can come away with thinking anything other than Robert Mueller is taking down the deep state. He's not. None of those things pointed to Trump. None of those things point to Don Jr. None of those things are harmful to the Trump campaign in any way possible. But they are extremely detrimental to, obviously, the Podesta group that's gone. That public indictments are going to happen around those. And what information has he boiled from General Flynn? Those are all very, very exciting things that are yet to come. And you could tell from the Q post, it's like a pot kettling, and that's why he's so feverish now. He's doing over 30 posts a day now that we're there. We're like weeks, days away from all this going public, and I can't wait. I personally can't wait.
Yeah, the information waterfall has really started at a rapid pace. Everyone, this is one of the reasons we wanted to get the site in place and get some of this stuff underneath us before it started to happen, because we just feel like not only is it going to connect back to so many posts in the past, guys, but the posts that come in the future are also going to reveal new information like we're seeing, and then the new information is he's connecting it right to posts a year ago. The whole story starting to break about the Pope today. So this whole thing, this is not going to be a smooth ride, maybe necessarily on the world stage, but I really do feel comfortable in whenever you see the information, and that's one of the reasons I wanted you to come on, man, just so you could just you just got a really good handle on how to present, to show that to people so people can understand. Even this week with you seen what McCabe is doing with Rosenstein and attempting to throw Rosenstein under the bus a little bit, and the stories are conflicting there too. And remember, Q said if Mueller's dirty, Rosenstein is dirty, and if Rosenstein isn't, Mueller isn't. So, the connections there too, guys, as well, to see, how the deep state's going to spin this. Are they going to start attacking Rosenstein as well? Very interesting.
And this is just kind of a wrap up of everything that we kind of talked about. It just matters. Everything that we're doing, whether you're spending here time Friday night listening to this show, or you're working behind the scenes to put together a meme, or you're trying to figure out a Q post, or you're trying to take some of this information and distill it to your friends. Anything that you're doing, it matters. And I sit here in Florida, and this map here shows just exactly how much it matters. Okay, so this is the final results from Ron DeSantis, a candidate that I got behind. I went to his rallies. I did what I could for Ron. I think he's a superstar in the making. But look, it was out of 8.2 million votes. He only won by 30,000 votes. Okay, so less than 0.5%. So everything that we do, it matters big time. Okay, so Ron, since he's taken over as the governor of Florida, he's fired Sheriff Israel from Parkland. He's fired Brenda Snipes from Broward County, who does all the election fraud. He's put a bill together that's going to be a heartbeat law for abortion. That's basically you can't get abortion after the baby can hear a heartbeat 10, 12 weeks or so. Now think of all those things I just mentioned, and that's just the start. He did those things in the first 2 weeks. Okay, so we got so much more to come from Ron. But if Andrew Gillum would have got those 35,000 extra votes, if he would have been my governor, none of those things would happen. Sheriff Israel would still be in place. Brenda Snipes would still be the community organizer in Broward County putting together fake votes. And guess what? We would be swinging more towards New York's laws with late-term abortions instead, and that's just a starting point. He wants open borders. He's a Soros shill. So everything that we're doing, just we are the news now, as Q says. It just really, really matters at an unbelievable. Some days you're just in the grind and you just got your head down, but man, it matters. Everything that we're doing. I got nothing for love for this movement. When I found Q, it basically changed my life, and it really just changed everything that I look at. And I got behind Ron. So I'm just saying, whatever state you sit in, you might not have a great governor at the moment. Find somebody you can get behind. Maybe it's a different position that you want to get behind. Maybe you want to run for office or do something different. All the power to you. The unity on the other side of this deep state takedown is going to open up opportunities for everybody that's sitting here listening to this and across the world, obviously. But I just say, stay on it. I love this movement. I love the opportunity you guys gave me here tonight to be able to have a different voice. I haven't put anything out on YouTube or anywhere else. First chance I've had to get out and talk to y'all. So, if you liked what I had here to say, you took a little something from that presentation, maybe some ideas about, you didn't exactly know all those facts before that you can kind of distill and get back to people, but maybe in the bigger picture, how you can kind of put things together logically for some of these deeper decodes and kind of get this message out to the center right is where you need to start, and the rest of the people will follow. But find the people that you can talk to and find a way to communicate with them and try to do it through public sourcing, but use obviously the Q and POTUS as your foundation. That's always your starting block. That's always your foundation. You only trust Q and POTUS, and everything else has to be proven to you otherwise. And God bless all of you. I love this movement. I love the opportunity I was given tonight, and I hope to be able to do more.
Well, we definitely want you to do more. This is exactly why we wanted this platform to be here. We're going to be bringing lots and lots of voices to the air. Not only people who are out there creating content, but also we're going to be bringing some of the moderators out there. I'm going to try to get a show with a bunch of them on here so you guys can talk to them a little bit and they can share some stuff. And the discussion, if you guys come over to the website and get with the little chat there that's on the surface of the website and get involved in the conversation, don't hesitate to ask us questions and share information. It's all of us, man. And you're spot on with what you're saying right there. I've witnessed so many people decide that they wanted to speak because of the ability to understand Q and their ability to understand the president, and that gives you enough orientation to have a voice again in the in the echo chamber that is the mainstream media. I had an interview with Ben Davis Jr. yesterday where he was talking about the idea that the reason the president is moving so fast is because we're moving against artificial intelligence. And, the idea that Twitter and us on Twitter, the reason that this is working is because we're staying ahead of the news, ahead of the algorithms. They're not able to grab the stuff and just kind of stuff it anymore. It's kind of why their whole thing didn't work. Matrix, what did you think? What do you think there, bud? How are you doing over there?
Yeah, good, man. Paul Mumford over here, _Mumford, MUNFORD. Phil Mumford says, God bless everyone here. Pray for your protection, and says that this was the best interview yet, Joe. Stormy, good job. Praying Medic is out here. What's up, Medic? He's listening to us on Periscope. Thank you very much for stopping by. Did you see that I'm on the list, Mr. Praying Medic? Oh my gosh.
Was he on there? So, I didn't get through it. It came out.
No, he's on Periscope right now.
Oh, okay, but he wasn't on the 200 list, right?
I don't believe so.
Right? Yeah,
I don't know why. You should be.
Well, I'm just kind of like glancing through it and realizing that I don't have a lot of I'm not following a lot of these Patriots, so I've got to get over there and get some of them followed.
That's what I did too. Absolutely. And by the way, we just had a Q
Don't be an
post.
aggressive follower.
we had a Q post. Basically, it's just now during the show. A couple of links here. Remove control from government to provide CA. Who controls California? With another link with Forbes talking about 7 days before Obama gives away international security, and then significant risk, cover, control, ICANN, and that's probably about the the internet attacks. Why would Hussein in Killbox transfer U.S. government control of internet to a nonprofit California company? You are the news now, Shady.
You have the facts
guys out there. Yeah, you guys out there in Twitter, you guys out there in YouTube. Thank you, Q. Wow, just wanted to breaking news Q post.
And he took it easy on us during the broadcast here tonight, Matrix. Last week he gave us a few right in the middle, but
He did.
This has been.
We can keep going. You got some awesome stuff too. And Joe, wow, thank you, Shady. I'm going to hand it back to you.
Yeah, I was going to go through a couple of more things here. I had something, Joe. We're going to keep you on the line, and you just feel free to jump in the conversation anywhere. Where we're going to stay on here for a few more minutes. I have to definitely show you guys something, and this is going to be a little video here from Amazing Anon. This is a 5-minute video called the Jussie Smollett hoax, and I think you guys are going to laugh a little bit, and so we're going to just hang out for a minute, unwind just a little bit, and check this out.
How could this happen? I gave them so much. What's wrong? Oh, yeah, he's gay. What's wrong, Jesse? It's Fox. They're gonna write me out of the show. But it's so popular. I know. I don't know what to do. Well, you could contact the executive producers. No. You could contact the director? No. You could stage a fake hate crime to garner mass amounts of sympathy. On January 29th, 2019, Jussie Smollett, an actor in the show Empire, contacted Chicago police claiming that he had been the victim of a racist assault. The previous week, he contacted police regarding a threatening letter he received in the mail. At 2 a.m. on the night of the attack, he went to a local Subway. He walked home and was attacked by 2 men. They beat him up, poured bleach on him, and put a noose around his neck while screaming, "This is MAGA country." As soon as word of this attack hit the media, the outrage began.
His attackers hurled racial and homophobic slurs.
2 people yelled racist and homophobic slurs.
Racial and homophobic slurs.
Not only homophobia, we're talking about racism. We're talking about hate with steroids.
They are looking for 2 suspects who were apparently wearing Make America Great Again hats.
The offenders uttered, "This is MAGA country."
The hate crime went down early this morning in Chicago.
Officials are investigating the alleged assault as a hate crime.
And now police say they're investigating this as a possible hate crime.
Anyone attacked in a hate crime like this is an outrage.
This is stomach-turning, mind-boggling information. It's out of control.
Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi tweeting the racist, homophobic attack on Jussie Smollett is an affront to our humanity.
And Senator Cory Booker said the vicious attack on actor Jussie was an attempted modern-day lynching.
Kamala Harris calling the attack an attempted modern-day lynching.
I'm so shaken by the story. This is horrible to report. This is a horrible story. This is a horrible story.
Yeah. The circumstances are just horrific. Horrendous and unacceptable.
Absolutely despicable.
Yeah, a lot of people can't believe this is actually happening in 2019.
It's hard to believe that we're reporting, that we're even saying words like this in 2019.
Anons know this MO. We know that when a story gets nationwide attention so quickly, something's up. Not long after obtaining a statement from Smollett, police raided the home of 2 persons of interest in the case. There they located bleach, a receipt for the rope used, shoes, and electronics. Now, let's take a moment to practice some logic. Chicago has the highest violent crime rate in America. As such, Chicago PD has installed thousands of CCTV cameras throughout the city. The only publicly known footage of the attackers? This. Hardly concrete. In the attack? Nope. Also not on camera. Chicago police were quick to note that if Smollett's claims were false, they would pursue charges against him. By this time, Smollett's claims are taking on the veracity of a late-night infomercial.
You're gonna love my nuts.
Meet Abel and Ola. Or is it Ola and Abel? Hillary, some help, please?
I know they all look alike.
Yeah, you're no help. Anyway, Abel and Ola are extras on the show in which Smollett appears. These bodybuilding brothers are from Nigeria. They're the MAGA hat-wearing, white, racist, homophobic, Trump-supporting ruffians that attacked Smollett. They were picked up at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport on their way back to MAGA country. Now they're in witness protection out of fear they'll be harmed before they can testify. Wait, testify?
Boy, that escalated quickly.
On February 17th, news broke that the Jussie Smollett attack hoax will be going before a grand jury. For those playing the home game, that means a felony. Sure seems like a lot of trouble to go through just to keep from being written off a show, right? On June 29, 2018, Senators Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, and Tim Scott introduced a bill that would make lynching a federal crime. Now, why would they do that? Virtue signaling? Or saving their own asses for when the hammer falls? On February 15th, just weeks after the staged attack on Smollett where a rope was put around his neck, the bill passed the Senate. Wouldn't it be something if the goals of this hoax were threefold? 1. Keep from being written off of a show. 2. Paint Trump supporters as racist homophobes in the public arena. And 3. Give a push to an anti-lynching bill drawn up by people likely to be charged with major corruption themselves. But we're just conspiracy theorists, right, media? Q posted on February 17th, suggesting that Senators Kamala Harris and Cory Booker might apply pressure at the Chicago PD in an effort to get the charges dropped. Q also opined that Obama-connected Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel might get involved in the case. As justice-seeking Americans, we hope that investigators don't lose their nerves. This case is still ongoing, and the maximum fallout is yet to be reached, but with the national attention it initially received, America is indeed watching how this shit show will conclude, as long as the media doesn't throw yet another false flag into the narrative. Oh, Jussie, where did it all go wrong for you? Yep, right there. And don't forget, don't like, don't subscribe, and don't share with anyone. Thank you.
That is another amazing presentation by one of our great Anons, band of Anons on YouTube. If you haven't checked out that channel, I highly recommend you check out that channel. I wanted to put that in there to give you a little bit of our rundown of the Jussie Smollett reality, so that you guys can see a little bit of the lighter side of what's going on, because it's really disgusting, the virtue signaling and the way they're trying to paint everybody as racist, homophobic, xenophobic. I mean, we've heard the word so many times now. You've been like I said, Matrix the other day. I was like, you go into the grocery store, you go to the gas station, you interact at the park with people that are walking their dogs. Where's the hate? You guys don't have hate in your hearts. No one has hate in their hearts. This is all BS, and they keep, no matter what bad story they try to twist it to your president, or, now that you're seeing they're twisting it to QAnon in the mainstream news. So a very funny little way to recap the Smollett fiasco that has been this week, Matrix. I couldn't resist showing them that. I really love this guy's creativity.
Band of Anons on YouTube. Anon, put a friendly Anon, and great job. I love the voice. I believe there's a couple of more out there too. Check them out, man. Shady, I'm glad you played that. I needed that.
I got one last week. He's got a new one out already. We may have to get it in the middle of the week, because I just love to see the creativity, Matrix. I love to see the freedom of creativity to use information and to make content, to put it in a funny, lighthearted context, so that that's who we used to be. That's who we were as a country when I was growing up. We could laugh at each other on TV. We made fun of each other. We pointed out each other's stereotypes, and we thought they were hilarious. None of us have less than the other. We're all, we're all messed up, and we're all trying to fix it. So that's a big part of the reason that Matrix and I are doing this, is because that we feel like it is a serious thing, and we are in an information war. But at the same time, we're also God-fearing, liberty-loving Americans who like to laugh with one another. And the relationship that he and I have developed has just become something unlike I could have ever thought I would have had with someone. So I'm really excited for this whole project with intheMAtrixxx with 3x's.com. I'm so excited to have Mr. Stormy Patriot Joe come on here and share with you what a great environment here. With Tiffany that's been on here before. Mr. Ben Davis Jr. came on. We're going to have Praying Medic on. We're hoping to get like 5 or 6 good Q people and have like a big couch discussion real soon.
Yeah.
And we
Don't
can
forget
just
say their interview. That was a good one to watch too.
That's
Shady.
true, right? Yeah, go check out the way that Jordan was just had like a little hit piece by Washington Post put out on him, and he obviously they went at him, but at the same time, whenever you watch their presentation, it's funny how they attempt to do a hit piece, Matrix, but really they kind of give credit to it, I mean, why would you do that if you weren't giving credit to it? So the Streisand effect is out there in the media as well with all this stuff going on at NCIS. So a big shout out to Jordan for going into the Lions Den and obviously putting his his credibility on the line there a little bit.
And Shady too. Tori is in the chat, and she's asking anybody in New York head out to Shady. Why don't you tell the story, because I think you know about it better. Tori, welcome to our chat, and we were on. Tori says, tell the story about Tori. We love Tori.
Yes, she invited us on her great program on Red State Radio. Tori says again this past week, and man, what an amazing audience that she has. She's got some people out there that are really paying attention, and she's keeping them updated too. Tori actually took the picture. You guys know that Q made or put up. He dropped with the family that all had Q shirts on. Tori actually took that photo, and Q dropped that just the other day, Matrix, while we were on the air with her. But she has got a Q in Times Square. So if anybody out there is in New York City and near Times Square, please, if you would, get down to the billboard that has Tori Says advertisement on it. She's got a little Q in that's going up at the 15 minutes after the hour and 15 till the hour for like a nice little promo run there. And we may be able to get a little promo of our own in there one day, she said. So keep an eye out for that. But if you can get a picture of that and get it back to the QArmy social network, wow, now that would be something amazing.
Could you imagine that, Shady? In
We're
the
worldwide, Matrix. We got to have somebody in Times Square.
Let me tell you, Webmaster Q did give me some information about worldwide. 66 countries have been in intheMAtrixxx.com, Shady.
Look, wow. That's I didn't hear that yet. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it is. It is. This is worldwide. This is Make Everywhere Great Again.
Make everywhere great again. I love that slogan.
Yeah.
So, hey, Stormy Patriot Joe, what do you think, man? You got any last words that you'd like to say to all the great Patriots out there? Feel free to, brother.
Yeah, man. I couldn't be more blessed to be able and very honored to be able to come on the show. I love the medium. Hopefully I'll be able to speak out again and maybe get some sort of regular input. I'd love to be here. I'd love to be able to expand upon the role and do what I can for this movement. But God bless you all. It's been glorious here tonight, and look forward to getting back into it, diving back into these Q drops that I missed preparing for this the last couple of nights.
Well, that was an amazing presentation, and I really appreciate, and all our fans out here really appreciate the time that you took to put that together. That gives like we were saying earlier, if you have friends out there that are kind of interested in the situation and you're like, oh, well, what is this with Mueller? They're thinking Mueller's going after Hillary. Well, maybe give them the link to this episode and they can watch this and get a little bit of an idea that maybe we're not seeing everything. And we know that we're not seeing everything. If they were showing us everything, Matrix, we'd already know what the plan was, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would. And And Joe, too, just so you know, this is a tweetable episode on Periscope, too. So this whole Q Lounge Live can be spread across Twitter just as is and not leaving the platform. Also, make sure you share the YouTube video. Hit like, subscribe. Much love, Patriots. Joe, you did amazing. Definitely want to have you back. Shady, top notch. You were Q'd this week. Holy moly. Q drops galore. If you go to the website, I made a Q Sent Me shirt. If you guys want one, I got one. It's at the Matrix store. We love you guys. Thank you very much for your trust and faith. Welcome back, Patriots that have realized that they fell for a deep state Democrat attack, and maybe some useful people that just were mad or whatever. But I'm in it to win it. I'm on the list. I'm not giving up. I'm not backing down, Shady.
You are not, and I am not, and you Anons out there are not. What an amazing show. Thank you so much to my co-host at intheMAtrixxx for being here and for being such a great person to work with, and also very inspiring and encouraging, and he's trying to bring out the best in people, and I really appreciate that from him. And don't hesitate to hit him up on Twitter if something's going on with you, or get over to the QArmy social network on intheMAtrixxx.com. Please go support StormyJoe on Twitter. And all of the other Anons in that list, get over there and let's follow them all up. Let's let the deep state know that we are supportive of Anons that are under attack. This is going to be interesting, guys. This next week is going to be amazing. We got a few things coming up next week as well. We're going to be on Tory again next week, and also IRL next week. So keep looking for the links. More than likely, we're going to probably be doing something tomorrow. We got to get caught up on all these Q posts and the Matrix Groove Hour. So everybody out there, thanks so much for coming over and for joining us here tonight. I want you to feel free to post in the YouTube comments below. If someone asks you a question, don't hesitate to help them out. If you can't help them out, please direct them to somebody that might can. There's a whole bunch of amazing Anons out there standing ready to help red pill people who are asking legitimate questions. But we want to spread the notion that there is a clear line between truth and the lie. The lie is that they are the global elite. The truth is that you are the elite. You are the elite because you are the freedom-loving, liberty-supporting patriots of America, and you are leading this charge because you are freedom. We represent being free. We represent the future, and do not feel ashamed to talk about it. Please get out there and follow all of these other amazing citizen journalists: Jordan Sather, Destroying the Illusion, Praying Medic, Serial Brain 2, iPod, SGT Report, We the People Insider 1776, Neon Revolt, Joe M, love that Twitter, buddy, Jody Iceman James, Lisa Mae Crowley, Corticon, Dustin Nemos, Blue Eyes Abby Cook, great music, awesome voice, JT Wild, love him as well. Also Anon Decoder, Blessed to Teach, Lionel Media, Stormy Patriot Joe, all of these people that you find on the QArmy Newswire News Network over there at intheMAtrixxx with 3x's.com. And with that, I would just like to say that I love you, Patriots. I love interacting with you. I love being with you. I love being on this wall. And there is nothing better than winning. So do not run out of popcorn, and make sure you catch us next time. And with that, we will see you soon, Anons. Much love.